The U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee is holding a public hearing in the continuing investigation into whether Russia tried to influence last year's U.S. elections. The vice chairman of the committee says Russia deliberately created fake news to undermine the vote. He cited the leaked emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman and former Secretary of State Colin Powell as examples of the Kremlin's interference. Well, let's speak to Tetiana Anderson, who joins us now from Washington, D.C. So tell us more about this, Tetiana. The House is already looking into this. So why is the Senate doing it as well?
Well, Shuli, that's because the House process is pretty much in shambles at this point. You've got Democrats and Republicans fighting with each other. You've got Democrats calling for the resignation of the House Intelligence Committee chair, Devin Nunes. You've got Republicans not calling for him to resign, but at the very least to recuse himself or to step away from the investigation into Russia's meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential race. And all of this controversy that's happening within the House was really created by Nunes himself. He had apparently a secret White House source who delivered him information saying that some of the Trump campaign aides were caught up in surveillance by U.S. intelligence officials. Nunes then shared that information with the Trump administration without consulting his committee. And this is sort of where all of this fire started. So now you've got the Senate Intelligence Committee saying that they can fill this void, that they are the adults in the room who can really come together to lead a bipartisan effort to get to the bottom of what really happened when it came to Russia's meddling. The Senate says that they have some 7 staffers devoted to combing through thousands of pages of intelligence, and they only expect to get more. What's happening here on Thursday is basically a 2-part hearing where the committee will talk to outside experts about the whole Russia interference into this election. So, Shuli, for the Senate, this is step 1.
So do we know who else the Senate plans to question?
Yeah, the Senate says that they have sent out some 20 requests for interviews at this point. They say they have 5 of them locked down on the books. They say in the next short period of time, they expect to get 10 or 15 more of these interviews set up. The only person that they've named publicly as somebody who they plan to interview is Jared Kushner. He is the son-in-law of Donald Trump. He's also a senior advisor to Donald Trump. We know that Paul Manafort, who was President Trump's campaign chair, did volunteer to be interviewed by the Senate. But at this point, Shuli, we don't know if he's actually on the books or not.
Okay, now the chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Richard Burr, he is or was a Trump supporter, so can he be impartial in all this?
Well, that's something that he actually addressed at a press conference just the other day. He said that he was a Trump supporter, and for the first time he actually admitted that he voted for Donald Trump, but he says that he has a job to do. He says his job is to get to the bottom of this. His job is to be impartial, and as far as he says, he is able to do that. His counterpart, Mark Warner, who is the ranking Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, did step in to say he fully agrees that Burr is the man for this job, and that he expects that this Senate committee process will go through with a bipartisan effort, and there should be no problem when it comes to the loyalties of Burr. Shuli.
Tetiana, thank you. Tetiana Anderson there updating us from Washington, D.C.